Hi, my name is Lynn Herr, and this is just the first of a list of videos to help beginners who are getting started with the Bitmoji Starter Kit. Welcome, and we hope you'll have a lot of fun. So many of you are here because you have this slide deck that I created that's just a place for beginners to get started easily. And you noticed that you clicked the Use Template button, and that opened a copy of this file for you to use for yourself. So any edits that you make here, only you will see, and you are welcome to do any editing that you'd like. So if we look at slide 2, this is the example of the resources or the table of contents of the resources that you'll find in the starter kit, including furnishings from your room. The master file is full of examples and things that you can tie to your room. We have some primary and secondary classroom examples, along with lots of tutorials to help you. You'll also find my email address and Twitter handle here if there's anything that I can help you with. And the URL to get to these slides is just bit.ly/Bitmoji Class 2, and you do want that all to be lowercase. So what I created here are just some example slides for you of the kinds of things that you would find in a Bitmoji classroom, including some linked videos, such as this video on how to tell time. You can link assignments to the whiteboard. You can put text boxes. You can add furniture. In slide 4, you can see where I've embedded YouTube videos. If you click on the Courage rock up in the wall art, you'll find that there's an invisible link there that takes you out to a tutorial from Nadine Gilkison that describes how you pull in your Snapchat animated Bitmoji if that's something that you're interested in. So we have rooms that have windows, rooms that have furniture, real life objects, photos. There's a lot that you can do with the room. On slide 5, I showed some examples of books. So these are great resource books that were created in Book Creator. You can go out and open those if you'd like to learn more about Book Creator, WeVideo, or lots of Google tools that you can use there. I'm also using this slide to show how the motion of the animation can draw attention to something on the slide. So that's why that's included here as well. So progressing through on slide 6 and slide 7 are two just stationary backgrounds that you can use to build your slides with. Those are background images, and I have a video that walks you through why we make images backgrounds instead of layering pictures on the top, but these two are just ready for you to go. We've got on slide 8 some rugs along with some tips of how you change the perspective of something to make it fit in your room. So this is an example of a rug that I found online. I used the tool called Luna Pick to pull the background out, and then another piece within Luna Pick to change the perspective so that it looks more appropriate in the room. On slide 9, you see some windows, and what makes these windows special is that they're PNG or transparent. So we can actually put these pictures behind the window to make it appear as if we're looking out the window at the picture. So you can see if I make this window bigger, it can appear as if we're looking out the window at the playground. So I think that that would be something some of you might want to experiment with. So that's why that's there. On slide 10, just some basic furniture, including bookcases, a desk, some shelves, whiteboard. One thing that I want to show you on this slide is the ability to edit furniture. So for example, if I look at this bookcase and I click once to select it, I can change the size of it by dragging the handles. But if I click twice, I get the cropping marks. So maybe I only wanted a single bookshelf. So I can just crop it down to have one shelf. And when I click off of it, I've got one shelf. However, if I double click, I can go back always to the size that I wanted it or that it started as. So that's cropping as opposed to resizing. And we use those in combination as we go through and start to build these rooms. On slide 11, there are some examples of seating for your room. And again, just as a quick example, there are some colorizing tools built into Google's palette. So if I choose this yellow chair by clicking on it, I can go up to Format Options and Recolor and see some color choices here. So let me get my video window out of the way here so that you can see. When I go to the recolor menu, if I have not a lot of choices, but I do have some. So you can see there I chose a teal color. The other thing I want to show you that this menu has that we use a lot under format options is size and rotation. So maybe we need this object faced the other direction. So under format options, we can go to size and rotation and choose flip. And it flips either vertically or horizontally, but most often I'm flipping horizontally to get a different direction. The same here, if I go over to this rocking chair, I can flip it and have it face the other way. So a question comes up often, can I turn it around? It's not 360, you're just basically flipping the angle. So you cannot, for example, flip a person and get the back of their head. Slide 12 includes just some different options for things that you might want to use in your classroom, whether it be computer screens or lighting. On slide 13 are some shared Bitmojis. Sometimes you just need some people in your scene that you're working on, and you may not have your student Bitmojis because Bitmoji does have a minimum age of 13. So sometimes it's helpful to have some pre-set characters. Slide 14 is just an example that I wanted to show you that I collected from the Facebook group where art teachers went in and created Bitmoji characters of artists that they were studying. So curious if you can guess who some of these artists are. But it is possible to create Bitmojis for other people, but usually it's hard because you've got to keep your own intact and then often open a second account on another device to be able to do that. On slide 15, I have a collection of some sample videos. There's a countdown timer, there's the Bitmoji tutorial, and some other Bitmoji and lesson videos that if you want to practice copying and pasting video into the slides, you can do that. And then I also just went ahead and included a few links so that if you want to practice linking an object to a website or within the file, you can use these links here. So you really can learn to create the Bitmoji classrooms without ever leaving this file. So that's just a quick introduction to the Bitmoji Starter Kit.